1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers, but you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Hello, and welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
It's that time of the month when all we fill you with is sequel goodness of what we've been watching and doing and saying for the last month. Don't laugh at this. This is staying in. This is my intro.
Couple of episodes ago,
Yeah.
you nailed an intro. It was so good, so professional. And this, oh mate,
Not as good?
No. Fill you with sequel goodness.
Yeah. Inject it into their veins, I was going to go with.
Yeah, I mean, that all sounds dodgy from every level.
Pump it into them. Like a custard tart, whatever it is. What's the donuts?
Unequal sequel coming in your ears.
Yeah. How are you, Rich?
I'm okay, buddy. We're in the second heat wave again at time of recording.
Yeah.
When everyone's listening to this, they're going to be like, "What are you talking about? It's like raining." But yeah, at time of recording, we're hot.
I think it's going to be the third hottest day of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that is probably the hotter than it's been any other time.
Yeah, so glorious weather. I'm liking it. It's just a shame my sweatbox of I'm going to call it a studio. It's not. It's a spare bedroom. It gets really hot when I have the door shut and the window shut. So if you see me start melting in front of your eyes, Rich, call someone.
I'll be with you, mate. I'll be with you. I have a similar problem with my tiny little office in the garden, which has basically no insulation, so it gets very hot and very cold.
And most podcasters know not to have a fan on when we're recording.
I know.
Have you got yours on today?
I have got mine on, yeah.
You bastard, I haven't got mine, so I'm jealous.
I will die. I put it as far away as I possibly can from the microphone.
Oh, good. I can't hear it. So that's okay then.
No. And I've got it on the lowest setting as well.
Oh, good. Shall I tell the people what we're doing today?
Yeah, go for it.
As today is the final Friday of the month, it is our normal monthly roundup of August.
Woohoo!
And in this episode, we talk about the news, the reviews, and sequels and releases and everything that's coming up and been. Basically, it's just a nice little chit-chat for me and Rich to catch up on what we've been doing.
I mean, August has not been a busy month sequel-wise, so this might be short.
Actually, I've watched one sequel more than I normally do, so...
Oh, I mean, you've watched one?
Yes. Absolutely.
Good, me too.
So, we kicked off the month. Rich, do you remember what we done in the month?
Yes. We kicked off the month with Prey, didn't we?
Yes. No, and we did our top 5 Dream Podcast guests.
Oh, yeah, we did. I forgot that was this month. I thought it was last month. Yes, we did our top 5 Dream Podcast guests. I said top 10, really, because your 5 and my 5.
Yes.
But yeah.
And then we did Prey, the Predator film, and how we didn't squeeze in a Prey Take That joke in that episode.
Ah, damn it.
I'm still not quite sure. I listened to it back and I thought, we've missed a trick here.
Oh, we have missed a trick there.
And then also, what have we done after that?
We've done the Bourne Legacy, which is a big old load of poop.
That was a weird sequel, isn't it? But
yeah, 10th anniversary, 10 years old, Bourne Legacy.
interesting that was to watch.
Yeah, pointless.
And now this.
And now a monthly roundup. Yeah.
Have you enjoyed them all?
No.
Lovely.
I've enjoyed recording them all, of course, but I didn't particularly enjoy watching Bourne Legacy. It's not my thing.
We've actually had a couple of people get in touch with us and telling us how much they enjoyed Prey as well. So Jack Chamber Ward from the Sequelizers told us they enjoyed it and agreed with me, and then got a bit upset with you because you said you wouldn't want a sequel to this, but you would want a sequel to Venom's.
Look, okay. Let There Be Carnage is not a great movie, admittedly. I enjoyed Venom, though, the first one. So a sequel could only go up, surely. You know, there's upward trajectory. Prey was brilliant, and so I can only sort of see a sequel being not as good. You know, just because the first movie's great doesn't mean the sequel will be great, and just because the previous movie is not so great doesn't mean the sequel won't be great.
I think we can agree with everyone that we can just hear you digging a bigger hole for yourself. So he wrote, I'm definitely closer to Dave in some of the references were a bit cheesy, but I still loved it. So he agreed with me, which is always nice. And he's happy that we both liked it. Who else got in contact? Alex Elliott. Great episode. Thank you, Alex. I loved it too as the second best Predator film. So again, he's agreeing with me. A lot of this is agreeing with me. FYI, Predator 2 was set in the future at the time of release, Dave. Yes. Even though 1997 hasn't passed now. Yet what I meant, Alex, and everyone else, is that I want like off-world humans and flying cars and stuff. But I also did forget that Predator 2 was set in the future at the point. And then I was like, didn't feel very future-y.
Well, it wasn't that far in the future, was it?
It's 10 years,
10
something
years
like
in
that.
the future, yeah.
And then also, Harley Mumford, brilliant from Fundamentals podcast. Absolutely love this movie. A really straightforward and entertaining use of a great premise. A worthy follow-up to the original, for sure. And I agree with you guys that I wish I had the chance to see it on the big screen.
I think there's going to be a lot of people saying that.
Yeah. It should have been on the big screen. And I really wonder, you never know, Prince Charles Theatre or something like that might put it on.
Maybe. There have been screenings of it. And, you know, before release. And
the press screening was, like we said, was on screen. Gutted. Anyway, but that's all we've got. Thank you for everyone that got in contact. Thank you for, if you're still sending stuff and we hadn't written it out, that's because we're pre-recording this, like pros.
Yes, absolutely.
Next thing I want to talk about is sequel news.
Oh, sequel news.
So there's kind of bits and bobs of sequel news around today. So the first bit of sequel news is that the Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, is to close the BFI London Film Festival.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool. Sequel closing the London Film Festival. Shall we apply to be, press there?
Yes, 100%. Let's get our credentials.
Really? Oh, man.
I don't think it's happened. I think that's all done though, isn't it? I think
no, you can still apply, but I've done it a few times. The London Film Festival being press, and Rich, I don't think we're built for it anymore.
Oh, really?
The press screens are early. You get there nice and early. Plus, not living in London is a slight problem now.
Yeah, that's true. But it would be nice though, wouldn't it?
It is fun, and you do get to go into the nice cinemas.
Okay.
Like at earlier clock, but sometimes you have to start queuing at like 6:30 in the morning.
Okay, let's not do that.
Especially for the bigger films. But then you get in there, and then there's always seats. I don't know. It's kind of half the fun is the queuing, to be honest.
Okay,
but
Mark Kermode doesn't have to queue, does he?
But he doesn't. I've never seen him there. Also, I think this is the only sequel, so it'd be a big waste of money for us.
It would be. Yeah, it'd be nice to see it though. Yeah. Yeah.
So if someone wants to invite us to the actual
we'd just like to go to the
evening.
screening of Knives Out 2.
Knives Out.
Yeah, we don't really want to go to the rest.
Well, I do. It's fun.
I do quite want to go to the rest just because I've never been before. But
it is fun because you can squeeze about 5 in a day films.
Okay.
But by the end of the 2 weeks, you're shattered.
Yes.
And you've seen a lot of great films, but you've also seen a lot of rubbish.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun, but it's hard work. Next bit of news, won't surprise you, is that there's been more news about Joker. Joker sequel has now got a date, I believe. Okay. It is now going to hit cinemas in autumn 2024.
That's,
October the 4th.
Oh, right, okay. That's very specific.
Well, yeah.
That's going to change, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's 5 years after the original. Also confirmed now, Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. She's now in it. Followed Adu, a role. What do you think of that casting?
No, I mean...
I think everyone, Rich and I are not fans of the original.
No, I'm not a fan of the original. I don't understand where this one's going to go.
I think it's actually going to be a musical.
Okay.
Which makes me a little bit more interested. I think we've talked about this a couple of times already with some other people, but at least they're going to try something different with it.
True. It's good to know they're doing something different because, well, I mean, Joker was basically a rip-off of two other very good movies. I'm just wondering if maybe turning this into a musical, it's going to rip off some really good musicals.
Oh, probably like Dancing in the Rain and stuff.
Well,
I definitely see the Joker and Harley dancing
singing
in the rain. It's morning. It's really early. Dancing in the Rain is the sequel, right? Of Singing in the Rain? If not, it should do. Dream sequel.
Oh dear. I mean, I don't know. I can't see it. Lady Gaga was good in A Star Is Born, so who knows? She could be really good.
Have you seen House of Gucci?
No, I have not seen House of Gucci.
You've got to watch House of Gucci just for the accents.
All right, okay. I've heard mixed things. Some people really loving it, and some people really hating on it.
I would say I'm more leaning towards the hating on it. It's everyone's accents are just crazy.
Yeah, it's Jared Leto, isn't it?
Yeah, he really goes for it.
Not my favourite at all.
Al Pacino has this dodgy accent. Basically, it should have been a TV series.
Okay.
They've dragged it over a film. Back to the Joker. Zaza Beetz is in talks to return. You know, for that character that I can't really remember what she did. The love the love interest.
Yeah.
Neighbour.
I don't know. Yeah. I can't get excited about it. I'm sorry.
I'm really trying to get you excited about it.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Awesome, 2024.
Whoa! Can't wait for
Todd Phillips. Joker sequel that won't be connected to anything else. Maybe they'll start connecting it to the DC universe.
Well, maybe.
This is what's going to link on to my next story. Because I think we can talk about it. And we had a little chat about it in the pub garden the other day. Is the news that Batgirl has been completely cancelled.
Yeah. But they've made it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
What the fudge?
Apparently the testing scores were too low. But then there are rumours that it has got tested the same as the Rock's film, The Black Adam.
Right.
So, and that's normally about right for testing films. And they're just writing it off as like a tax.
I don't get it.
And we were going to talk about this because it has Michael Keaton returning as the original Batman. So it falls into our rules and laws of covering sequels because it has a returning character to a film. And I think even if the film is not great, and Warner Brothers, if you're listening, most of your films aren't.
I mean, there's a low bar for DCU movies.
It was going straight on HBO Max in America,
right,
so it was given a smaller budget than say Aquaman or.
So then why bin it? I don't understand.
Because there's just been a merger between Warner Brothers and Discovery. So now they're Warner Brothers Discovery. So they've got this very short period where they can write some certain things off for tax reasons. So they're looking at the projects are being made at the moment. And if you're cancelling this one, what's going to happen to the Ezra Miller Flash film where I think he's been arrested again.
Yeah.
For home invasion. He's been rumours he's part of a cult. Who knows what's true and not. But, you know, there's no smoke without fire or all that. Or no fire without smoke. One of those two round.
No smoke without fire, mate. Yeah.
Thank you. So there are rumours yesterday that they got three options of that film. Either he comes out and does an apology and basically gets into rehab and tries to sort them out. They put it out, but he has nothing to do with promoting the film and is no longer the Flash afterwards. Or three, they could scrap a $200 million film.
I mean, who knows? They'll do the thing that'll make them the most money, won't they? That's what it. Well,
you would think. I think putting out a Batgirl film would make more money than scrapping it.
Because if they put it out on HBO, then people pay their subscriptions already, though, don't they? It's not going to.
But if they changed their mind and said let's put it out in cinemas, I still think it would make over $100 million.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure it would.
I'm pretty sure pretty much the worst superhero films make over $100 million. Plus, when you got Michael Keaton returning.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. Just doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot going on at Warner Brothers at the moment, but from what I understand, they're just saying they're going to restart again. They've got another 10-year plan about the future of the DC universe
for
and
God's sake.
characters.
Maybe just let it go.
Ben Affleck was reportedly now in Aquaman 2 because there was a scene.
What, as Batman?
Yes. So it was.
What?
Because they're replacing a scene that had Michael Keaton in Aquaman 2 because Aquaman 2 was originally meant to come out after The Flash. But now that's not happening. Aquaman 2 is coming out before The Flash, or something like this. So at this point, Rich, we might not get to see Michael Keaton as Batman again.
Warner Brothers and DC, you are absolutely twisting my melon. Like, what is going on over there?
What would you do? What would your game plan be? Would you scrap it?
I'm just a simple
That's a lot of
soul.
people's work, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot. One for Batgirl, for example, I feel incredibly sorry for the people on there who maybe it's your first movie, maybe this is your breakout, maybe this is your big thing. Like
Leslie Grace, the Latino actress that has massive in the community. They've just, what does that say? That they're just canned.
Absolutely.
And the directors, they didn't even tell the directors pretty much beforehand, I think. Maybe it was a few hours that, sorry guys, and then we're putting a release out. And these are the guys that have just recently done some Miss Marvel episodes. They did Bad Boys 3, which is not a terrible sequel.
No, well, it's not great either.
But it's got a future. Like, these are good directors.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, I genuinely don't understand. Even if you don't think it's the best movie ever, you put out Wonder Woman 1984, like, and that's trash.
They put out the Suicide Squad, like the David Ayer version, after they tore it to pieces. Justice League. That version of Justice League they put out.
Well, both versions of Justice League.
The other version's okay.
The Schneider cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's far too long and it's mostly in slow-mo.
Yes, it is 100%. In a few years, we'll go back to that and go a deep dive.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that again.
But it's a lot to take it. And I know they're trying to go down the Marvel route, but Marvel, their phase one was over like 10 years, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the build up
you've got to put the work in. You've got to put the effort in. You can't just go, oh, well, we're going to be Marvel, and now we're Marvel. Marvel weren't Marvel in 10 minutes. They made mistakes first. You've got to put the work in, but you've got to also respect what you've done before. That's the problem with the DCEU.
You've got to respect the audience as well.
Yeah, the DCEU is that they've started again so many times. They've gone, and we've got it wrong. This is all rubbish. We're starting again. It's rubbish. You didn't build anything. You didn't put it together. The first DCEU Batman movie was Batman versus Superman. And in that, you reference things that have happened before, like your dead Robin, for example. Where the hell is all that? If you're going to start it properly, I know people are sick of superhero origin stories, but if you want to start something, you've kind of got to start at the start. Like, you can't start halfway through. Not with Batman. You know, with someone like, you know, Ms. Marvel or, you know, I know that's Marvel. With someone like in Batgirl, for example, you don't necessarily have to do an origin story for Batgirl. You can start wherever you want to start. Yeah. You know, but Batman's too big for you to not to.
But isn't it now that the DCU? Isn't it too convoluted of where we are?
It's far too convoluted. It's
we've
ridiculous.
Now got 2 Wonder Womans. We're about to have 2 Aquamans. We haven't even had a Flash film. What we've been promising. The Cyborg film that was meant to happen is no longer happening.
I'm so lost.
Who we are on Batman, because we got the Robert Pattinson universe. We got this other Joker universe.
This is the other problem, isn't it? It's they keep doing these not in universe movies.
But those ones are the better films.
Yeah, well, they are the better films, but you wouldn't see Marvel doing that, would you? Marvel don't release not in MCU movies.
The DC Warner are now trying to find that Kevin Feige. So fingers crossed.
Should have done that
at the beginning. Well, they thought they did with Zack Snyder.
The thing is, Kevin Feige wasn't Kevin Feige overnight, was he? Kevin Feige was a producer on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. And that was big a load of toilet. You know,
he will never
it's taken a long
that.
time to get there. Just if you're going to do something, do it properly and have a plan. You know,
maybe they will now, but I don't think cancelling Batgirl is the start of
cancelling movies when they're made is not the way to go.
Mental. I think we've covered our feelings there. Would you have gone and seen a Batgirl film? I think I would.
Well, I definitely would, because we would have covered it on the podcast.
Yes, that's true. But if we weren't covering it on the podcast,
yeah, I probably would. probably would have. Well, I mean, not gone to see it because it was on streaming, isn't it? But yeah, I would have watched it definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for your views, Rich. I feel like you got pepped up a little bit, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, it does annoy me somewhat.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, just Warner Brothers in general annoy me. I think I know they're all corporate money making machines, all the studios, but
Yeah.
Warner's feel more corporate-y than everyone else.
I don't know. Disney are quite corporate-y, but they seem to have a game plan.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Disney at least feels like they want to give you something yes, they're very corporate, but they want to give you something that makes sense. Whereas DC, they're just like, we'll just throw everything at it and make all the money. And then, oh, look, there's an opportunity for us to make some more money by canning a product before anyone gets to see it. Let's take the money. The money's all that matters, the money. Yeah. Oh, well.
Brilliant. And on that note, we should leave that.
Yeah,
because I liked your impression.
I could just rant about this all day.
Just let him loose. Let's talk about sequels we've seen. So let's hit the jingle for that, please. Sequels we've seen.
Woo.
Okay, cool. Have you seen any sequels this year? Week? Month?
This year? I've seen a few this year.
This month?
This month, other than ones we're talking about in episodes, the only sequel that I have seen this month is Die Hard 2.
Why? Why did you watch that?
It was on telly. Me and my wife sat down, there was nothing on telly. We were like, oh, Die Hard 2 starting in a minute. And my wife had never seen it before.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
How did you explain to it? Because normally I have to give a quick synopsis to my wife about films.
I just said it's Die Hard in an airport.
There you go.
That's all it is.
Did she say, is it set at Christmas? And you're like, yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is set at Christmas. We watched it in July, August.
Yeah, August, hottest week ever. What did she think? What did you think? Is it still... Because I watch it. I pretty much watch it once a year, I think, Die Hard 2.
I haven't watched it for a long time, actually. I watch Die Hard every Christmas, and I haven't watched Die Hard 2 for ages.
Ooh.
But I really like it. I still really like it. It's still fun. It's Die Hard in an airport. It's not as good as Die Hard, and it's not as good as Die Hard with a Vengeance, but it's still good.
Is it as good as 4 and 5? And we've recently watched 4. 5, yes.
5.
Yeah,
it's definitely better than 5.
A video of me shitting having diarrhea is better than 5. Not going to be released.
Yeah, that's not making it to cinemas.
Yeah, no, cancelled.
I think it's probably on a par with 4.
Yeah, it's good fun. I mean, Bruce Willis really commits to Die Hard 2.
Yeah, it does.
And it feels and looks like a Die Hard film.
Definitely.
It's got a lot of callbacks from the first one. It's still got his wife Holly Gennaro. I like how she's on a plane with the snivelling reporters up there with her.
Yeah, that's good. And how he's horrible to the cabin crew, and they're like nice to her instead.
Yeah, they punch him in the face.
Yeah.
It's a good film. It's a good film, Die Hard 2. Sometimes I think people kind of forget about it. Some people say it's better than the first one.
It's not. Those people are wrong. But it's still good. It is definitely good.
It's good.
Watched it.
And the end's quite good on the plane fight on the tip of the wing and stuff, and quite violent when the guy falls through the engine.
Yes.
And there's some good snowmobile action and there's some good gunfights. But this is the one that Nick Helm ruined for us, because he says that the two packages that the two guys pass to each other indiscreetly
the Christmas present
are wrapped up as Christmas presents. So they could have just handed it to each other like they were giving each other Christmas presents.
And it wouldn't be suspicious.
There wouldn't have been a Die Hard 2. They had to kick it across the floor or whatever while not looking at each other, and that caught John McClane's eye.
Yeah.
Great point, though.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. What about you? Seen any sequels?
Yes, I've seen a new one.
Oh, hello.
I know, this is rare for me. I got the 7-day pass of Paramount Plus.
Oh, okay.
Overall, not worth it yet, unless you're a massive Star Trek fan or a Transformers fan. They're all on there, Rich. But I watched Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe.
Okay.
Now, that's a sequel to Beavis and Butthead, obviously Do America.
Do America, yeah.
And the TV series. And Beavis and Butthead hasn't been on TV, since 2000?
90s? Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, if you liked that film and the TV series, you're going to like this series. But for me, it was too long.
Fair enough.
Fair
Everything's
enough.
too long for you, though,
But,
Dave.
it is funny. There was some stuff I was laughing about. Most of they think they're going to have sex with an astronaut. Basically, that the way the people talk is the joke. When someone says do it, they think obviously lose their virginity kind of thing. And that's the whole joke is pretty much on that.
That's just Beavis and Butthead all over, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and it is funny when they start kicking each other in the nuts and stuff like that. Is it as good as the first one? I don't think so. It hasn't got, roller coaster.
That's all I can remember from the first one.
Yeah, the Red Hot Chili Peppers song. I was disappointed, Red Hot Chili Peppers didn't do a song for this one. But it was kind of nice to watch Beavis and Butthead again. I don't know what I would give it as a rating. I did enjoy it, but that's because it was quite silly, funny kind of thing. The animation's kind of the same. Yeah, it was good. I can't really remember the storyline. Basically, there's time travel in there, and they go through the universe. Obviously, they end up in space on an astronaut thing because they do a thing brilliantly, but they don't realise they're doing it. And that's it. That's my review. Good, eh?
Okay, yeah. You've inspired me to go and get Paramount. No, you haven't.
No, I would wait. But
Yeah,
Paramount Plus, it's weird that all these companies are doing all these different platforms because you can't have them all, can you?
No.
And there's what else was on there? They got the Halo TV series. I never played Halo, but I watched the first 10 minutes and it looked nice.
Yeah. It's not enough to make me want to sign up to it, I have to
All
say.
the Star Treks there, though. All the New Worlds,
again, I'm not
the
fussed
Discovery,
about Star Trek, really.
all the films, the good and the bad.
I did like Discovery, but yeah, it's not. It's not enough to make me want to sign up to Paramount Plus, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I've got enough. Yeah, there's enough going on Apple TV for me to not worry about anything else for a while.
Yeah. But any other sequels?
No. Well, lots. Clearly, lots of sequels. But none I can talk
I did
about
watch
right now.
Spider-Man: No Way Home again.
Oh, okay.
I still think it's brilliant. I still think for a film that has that much going on and that much that could go wrong, it still lands the plane kind of thing. A remarkable piece of, storytelling. Again, it's not a perfect film, but for what, I don't think it could have been any better because it's spinning a lot of plates.
Yeah,
And William Dafoe as the Green Goblin is still an absolute highlight
Great.
of that movie.
Yeah.
Like the way he can flick is great. And obviously Andrew Garfield doing his thing. Still love it.
Yeah.
But I did see other films, so we should go on to new movies.
Yeah, I've watched some other films.
New ones? Or
Well, I've watched one new one and one old one.
let's have the new one first and I'll do my
The new
one.
one, I watched Luck, talking of Apple TV.
The animated feature.
Yeah. The Pixar, it's not Pixar.
Well, it's John Lasseter, isn't it?
Yeah, who is... yeah.
It wasn't
not a great
wasn't
person.
completely cancelled, but got asked to leave Pixar and then
Yeah.
Apple,
Went to-
whatever the animation
No,
studio.
I think it's... Well, yeah, is it Skydance or something
That's
like
it,
that? Or-
Skydance,
yeah.
yes.
They picked him up and he's made this, and it's very Pixar-y.
Is it?
It is, yeah. But I would probably say it's a bit. I don't know. It's not. It just doesn't quite hit the feels. A really good Pixar movie gets you in the feels.
Yeah, if I'm not crying by an end of a Pixar film anymore, then I'm not quite sure.
You ain't gonna be crying in this one.
Oh, okay.
particularly. It's fun. My son loved it. He made me put it on again. So he watched it. We watched it, and then he wanted to watch it the next day as well. So he enjoyed it.
It's Simon Pegg as the cat, right?
Yeah, with a
Scottish accent.
Yeah, dodgy Scottish accent, but then it's explained in the film.
Oh, okay.
So it is part of the story that his accent isn't great. So yeah, can't go hating on it for that. But yeah, it's just a bit. It's nice. It looks good. It's just not quite there, and yeah.
The story the girls gets trapped in Luck World or something. Am I completely...
Okay, so essentially it's the story of a girl who is very unlucky.
I can relate to that,
She's
yeah.
grown up in an orphanage. And
Can't relate to that.
She's turned 18 and is basically like kicked out and on her own kind of thing. And then she gives a black cat a bit of a panini, and when the black cat walks away, there's a lucky penny, and she picks the lucky penny up, and she realizes a lucky penny because she starts having really good luck, and she decides she's going to give it to one of the girls at the orphanage who is got the prospects of being adopted, so she wants to give her the lucky penny so she gets adopted.
Cute.
And then the cat returns up because it turns out that the cat can talk and is a special lucky cat, and he needs the lucky penny to get back to the land of luck, but she inadvertently drops it down the toilet. And then hilarity ensues as they get to the land of luck and attempt to then find another penny. And then you also find out there's a bad luck world and a good luck world, and it's fine. It's fine.
I'm going to watch it. I like animated films. I'm a bit of a completist.
It's worth a go. It's worth a watch. It's not going to offend anybody. It's just, just needs that. It's just missing that little bit of extra.
Okay. And it's on Apple TV at the moment, is it? Apple Plus, whatever we're calling it.
Whatever it's called. I don't know. Apple TV Plus.
And what was the old film you watched that you want to talk about?
I watched Ad Astra, which I've been meaning to watch for a long time.
Oh, yes. Sad Astra.
Brad Pitt being a bit.
I saw this in the cinema and I was bitterly disappointed. So let's. What did you think?
I wouldn't say it's the best movie I've ever seen.
Is it what you
in my
expected
life.
going in, or do you think it was marketed wrong? I don't know if you've seen any of the trailers and stuff, but what were you expecting going into this film?
I kind of wasn't, because I knew about it when it was in cinemas, and I didn't get to watch it. And I've always been meaning to come back and give it a try.
Oh, it's beautiful. Some of it's.
I figured it was some of it is really beautiful, but it kind of does fall into that a bit too serious space movie.
It's like Apocalypse Now in space, kind of that kind of tone and the way it tells the story with the voiceovers, and it's building to that point at the end when he has to do something.
Yeah, but then at the end, it's not actually very dramatic.
The whole film's not. You know what is dramatic? The scary monkeys.
Yes, the scary monkeys are dramatic. The baboons that eat your face. That's pretty bad.
I remember sitting in. What's it called? Ad Astra. I always call it Sad Astra because it's so.
It is pretty
sad, and it's quite dull.
Yeah.
I came out a bit disappointed because I think the trailers make it look a little bit different, a little bit more actiony. They rely heavily on that moon chase when there's gunfalls and the exciting bit at the beginning when he's falling to Earth. But in between that and that, there's a lot of just him looking sad and talking to people at different points of the journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I'm desperately keen to watch.
I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
But if you like a lot of Brad Pitt pouting and being sad in space,
he's so sad.
For you.
I don't think he's bad in that film. I don't think anyone's bad in that film.
No, it's not badly made or badly acted or anything. It's just a bit depressing.
It's not, and this. I know there are. I'm going to say an enjoyable ride because I've watched really depressing films and weirdly I've enjoyed it. Kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Ad Astra into that. I would put it more as let's just try and get through this together and see what happens at the end.
And I'm going to sound like you now. Bit too long.
It is a bit too long.
Yeah, a bit too long.
Oh, Rich, I'm glad you said that.
So what about you? What movies have you been watching this month?
Okay, I've seen 2 new films. I went to the cinema to a film talking about Brad Pitt, Bullet Train.
Yeah. I've not heard amazing. I've basically heard all the good stuff's in the trailer.
Which is, that is very true. It even gives away the ending. The trailer. So if you want to know something about Bullet Train, don't watch the trailer because it ruins it. And it's a weird film. It's directed by David Leitch, who I think did Deadpool 2 and some other stuff.
Okay.
And it's very much. I'm going to sound like Mark Commode because I listened to his review the other day and he absolutely nailed it. But then he didn't like it and I enjoyed it. It's very much a Guy Ritchie kind of film.
Okay.
because it's kind of this, there's this one story, little stories put around it, and then you've got these Cockney geezers in the middle of it. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry are like partners, and they're called Tangerine and Lemon. And they're like, Lemon, where did you put the briefcase? Kind of thing.
Okay.
But it is. I really enjoyed it. It's dumb. It's very dumb. I think it's.
You do like a big dumb movie.
I can talk about a big dumb movie in a minute if you want. But I really enjoyed it. It's predictable in places. Some bits not so predictable. The cast, I think, is brilliant. Like, there's people that pop up and you're like, fucking hell, where'd you come from? It's got cameos that you're either going to love or hate.
Okay. It's interesting.
Depending your feelings towards people. But it is slightly too long, Rich. But
yeah.
I had a whale of a time in the cinema watching it. It's very funny, I thought. Some of the CGI is dodgy. Also, someone pointed out the other day that made a good point. It's not just called a bullet train because they're on a bullet train. It's because there's lots of bullets on a train. And I was like, oh, yeah, I am a dumb motherfucker. That does make sense.
I figured there was a double meaning.
Yeah. So it's basically, you know how Guy Ritchie films, once they introduce a character and then there's some writing on the word, like Turkish, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's lots of that.
Right, okay.
It's fun.
Like a video game kind of thing. Like
a little bit. I found myself listening to the soundtrack the other day, so that's never a bad thing. I would quite happily, when it comes out on VOD streaming services, I would 100% watch it straight away.
I don't think I'm going to go to the cinema and watch it, but I will watch it when it comes out on streaming.
Do you know what? If you need to be entertained for a couple of hours, I can't think of anything better to watch. It was really. I sat there, went by myself. One of my favourite pastimes is sitting in a pretty much an empty cinema by myself and watch it.
Yep.
Loved that. It was great.
The best. Going to the cinema, completely just you on your own.
As long as no nutter comes and sits either next to you, behind you, or in front of you, and there's so many empty seats around.
Yeah.
You can have a whale of a time. I keep saying that statement today. Whale of a time. It's great.
I think if I won enough money on the lottery that I didn't have to work anymore, then I would just hire out cinemas for myself.
Yeah.
Like, just go and watch movies on my own in the cinema.
But wouldn't you feel bad at the end when the cleaners come in?
No.
And they just look at you. Oh, yeah.
They'd have a lovely time.
I'm really nice in cinemas.
Yeah.
I take my rubbish out with me as well at the end.
I'm not a massive popcorn fan, so I wouldn't be like spreading popcorn everywhere.
Well, I don't throw it around the floor that some people seem to do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They do. Yeah, it's really not on.
Sometimes I look back. After the Minions screening I went to, it looked like there'd been like a hurricane in that cinema.
That's kids, though. It's different.
Yeah, but it wasn't kids. It was like 9 o'clock on a Friday night. It was adults.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Well, in that case, bad people.
Bad people. But Bullet Train, I would recommend it, weirdly. And it kind of, if you enjoy what you see in the trailer, that's what the film is. It's one of those, I was talking about Ad Astra being not a true representation of what the film is. Bullet Train is exactly what the trailer is.
Okay. I'm so I love the fact that you still just call it Sad Astra naturally. Cool. Okay.
Second new film.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. Ron Howard, 13 Lives.
Oh, not even heard of it.
My God. It's about in Thailand, the football team that gets stuck in the caves.
Oh, I have heard about it, yeah.
It is incredible.
Really? Okay.
Ron Howard doing a survival film with the word 13 in it. Because he did Apollo 13. We started this last night after... Okay, quickly. I watched Moonfall again. There's my big dumb film.
Okay, you do love the big dumb movie, yeah.
Still love that film. There's a point when you think it can't get any crazier, and someone says, this is ludicrous mode, and then the film literally turns into ludicrous mode. It is absolutely batshit crazy, that film.
Is Ludacris in it?
No, sadly not. It's like a Tesla reference, because one of the guys really likes... what's his name? Elon Musk. Moonfall... You cannot get any dumber and stupider but it's so much fun. I think it's ridiculous. You've got to watch it.
Yeah, I have to watch it. I did say when it came out on streaming I would watch it.
The plot is absolutely fucking mental. And me and my wife are in the cinema, and there's halfway through it, we both turned to each other like, is it wrong that we're really enjoying this? And I got really excited the other day when I found out it was dropping on Prime. So we made a date on like Friday night. Okay, we're going to watch Moonfall. And we both really enjoyed it still. It's still an absolutely crazy joyride of... Well, you have to watch it to believe it, to be honest. I think it might be Roland Emmerich's most bizarre mental film, and he does all the big, 2012. Anyway,
he's king of the disaster movie.
Yeah. So after that, double bill. That finished at 10:30. I was like, let's just put 13 Lives on, because it was hot last night. We couldn't sleep, kind of thing. It was too hot to even go anywhere. And we're like, we might start it today and finish the next day. It's 2.5 hours long, Rich.
Whoa, that's too long for you.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
When a film is told this well and grips you that much, and everything evolves around the story and has a purpose, and it's brilliant. It's going to surprise the people I tell you is in it. Colin Farrell's in it. Viggo Mortensen's in it. Joel Edgerton turns up at some point.
Oh, okay.
Lots of Thai actors, and it feels so authentic. At one point, I was like, "Oh, look at the undercurrents in the cave," and then I realised that's probably not a real cave, and that's just a part of a studio, and that's not real actors. But there's parts. This story is not too long ago, and you think you knew how they got the kids out, kind of thing. I didn't have a clue of what they actually did, and I won't ruin it. And what these British divers did, and it's incredible. It's an incredible piece of film. It feels so authentic. Ron Howard is an absolute G. It's incredible. It's about getting the kids out of the cave with the British divers and in Thailand. You have to see it.
Okay, I will watch it. Sounds good.
Again, we're talking. Yeah, we were talking the other day that we couldn't see Prey. I think 13 Lives was given a short cinema release.
Okay.
And I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to go and see it while it was out.
I didn't know. Like I say, I didn't know anything about it.
Exactly. Again,
but I did see a little bit from, like, when you first go on Amazon, it gives you a little, like...
I knew about it because I listened to a Ron Howard interview on Commode and Mayo's Take, whatever they call it now. It's a brilliant film. I still think about it this morning. I thought it was amazing. Watched it all. 2.5 hours, perfect timing. Perfect use of showing what you could do with the time that you have and not overstretch or make a film boring. I'd be interested to see what other people think about it, actually, because I thought it was incredible.
I'll watch it and I'll let you know what I thought about it.
One last film. I rewatched Speed.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Still holds up. Still an absolute corker of a film that is just fun. And Keanu Reeves, especially because we've watched the sequel not too long ago.
I think that's the biggest fall from
first
movie
it
to
is
sequel
massive
ever.
Keanu Reeves is such like a proper film star in that film as well. You can say it was like, oh my god, this guy's going to be absolutely incredible. And him and Sandra Bullock's chemistry is electric. And then you get to the sequel and you have Sandra Bullock and Neil Patrick Allen, whatever his name is. I can't even.
Jason Patrick.
I was close.
Neil Patrick Allen.
You might as well put Sandra Bullock with an aubergine or something, or a cucumber sitting next to her, and it had as much chemistry as those two. But Speed's good. It is ridiculous, especially when we have to do the jump bit.
Yeah. Of course it's ridiculous. It's an action movie, but
And you forget how it takes quite a long time to get on the bus. It's like 30, 40 minutes until the bus leaves the bus terminal. Yeah. And I didn't really remember that. I thought it starts bang straight away. It's also got the most ridiculous introduction of Keanu Reeves I've ever seen, which is their police car doing a massive jump over a hill. I was like, that's an introduction. Oh no, I was about to ruin something else that we watched, but I won't. But that's it. Yeah.
Good. Cool.
Good month for films. I really enjoyed this. Yeah.
Good month. Yeah. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's next? TV. TV Club. Woohoo!
Lovely. What have you watched?
Again, not loads. It feels like that, when it's sunny outside, tend to, movie and TV watching seems to like drop a little. But I've finished season 3 for All Mankind. So, and
I hear it's good. I've heard it's good.
It's so good. It's so good. And they always end the season on a the cliffhanger that makes you want to come back.
So give me we never really discussed the plot. Is it what if the Russians landed on the moon first or something like that?
Sort of. So yeah, essentially the Russians land on the moon first. They beat like Apollo 11 by like a day. It's more sort of what if the space race never ended, essentially.
Oh, okay, cool.
And yeah, so like we're into this last series was in the 90s, and by this point humans are on Mars. Humans have made it to Mars essentially, and the next the end. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Yeah, but the next series is going to be in the 2000s, the noughties. Okay,
and is this going to be the last series? I did hear a rumor that.
I don't know. It's probably a good way to end it because they're going to end up overtaking reality soon. But yeah, it's so gripping.
I've heard it's the best show that no one's watching.
I don't understand why no one's watching it.
Do you think it's because it's on Apple Plus and that's slowly growing and getting better?
Maybe. I mean, the Apple Plus model is sort of the opposite to Netflix, isn't it? Netflix is like, we will get as much stuff as possible out there, and Apple is like, we will get a few things and they will be brilliant.
Yeah.
So like Blackbirds was brilliant, and this is, and For All Mankind is brilliant. I've not watched Severance yet, but I've heard that's also brilliant.
Ted Lasso is good.
Ted Lasso is incredible.
The prehistoric dinosaur show that David Attenborough.
I've only seen one episode. My son's kind of gone off dinosaurs.
Oh my god! He'll get back on it. It's amazing. It's the best.
He will be back into dinosaurs again. He goes.
I was convinced those dinosaurs were walking and talking. I was like, wow, look at these.
He's very Star Wars at the moment now.
Yes, boy.
Star Wars. He's very into Kylo Ren. He likes the baddies. He always likes the baddies. So he's a big fan of Slytherin in Harry Potter. Yeah,
I'll look out for him then.
He's a big fan of Kylo Ren. So he got some money from his nan and granddad for the summer, and he spent it on a Kylo Ren costume and a lightsaber. So he's been hottest day of the year, and he's dressed head to toe in black with a cape. Jumping on his trampoline with a lightsaber.
I mean, as long as he's having a good time.
He's loving life. He's loving it.
Right, what else are you watching?
So I've also been watching Better Call Saul on Netflix.
Has it ended yet?
It's got, at time of recording, 1 episode left of this series.
Oh.
And it's... Do you know what?
Is it leading into Breaking Bad? I've watched the first few episodes and liked it, and I've never carried on.
Again, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there are some Breaking Bad bits, yes.
Yes. Well, it has to. It has to lead into that story, right?
I sort of feel like it's slowly grinding to a halt.
Oh, okay.
I don't feel like this last series has been... The first half of the series very good, and the second half of the series has felt a little bit of a slog. Like, I don't know.
Not gonna hit the landing.
Nah, it's tying up all the loose ends, and I get why that's happening. But I don't know.
I'm sure the last episode would be great. Those people, those writers and the showrunner and the actors are not.
No,
I don't think they're gonna fuck that up.
No, I'm sure it's gonna be great. And another thing that, again, time of recording hasn't finished yet is I'm really, really enjoying is Only Murders in the Building on Disney Plus.
I haven't watched this week's yet, but incredible. I read the other day that Steve Martin's not going to do anything else after this show finishes. So in my head, this show's got to go on for 10 more years.
Right, okay. So he's only going to do Only Murders in the Building. He's not going to do anything else.
Yeah, and once that ends, he's not going to look for any other jobs.
I was really worried that you were going to say he's not going to do anything else, and that this is the last series of it. Because
no, they're being green. I think they've been greenlit for 3 and 4.
Oh, good.
I think. Then. Yeah, Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez. I'm not going to be one of those people that doesn't include them. Their chemistry is amazing, but those 2 old timers are just different class. Martin Shaw is insanely talented and funny and good. It's I could watch him in anything.
They're both very, very good. But I didn't even know. I would not a is it High School Musical that Selena Gomez came from?
No,
I don't know.
no,
I don't know.
That's Vanessa Hudgens.
Okay, but anyway, I knew nothing of Selena Gomez before this, and I'm a little bit in love with her now. I think she's brilliant.
She's great in the
Absolutely
series.
brilliant.
She's the glue that keeps the show together.
Definitely, definitely.
Those two could, because they're that kind of comedy, could take the show off the rails.
Yeah, she's the straight man that kind of keeps it all. Straight person who keeps it all together.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I can't. This season, I watched this week's episode, but I can't tell you who the killer is. I don't know.
No, me neither.
It's that good, and each episode is just you think you can't get any better, and it keeps getting better. And
it does.
The quality of the writing's very good, and
gives you little hints. Like I like to try and figure out who the killer is beforehand.
it's that kind of show.
Stuff. Not even on this kind of show. Every time there's a thing, I will analyse a movie before it finishes, or a TV show, and say, right, it's that person. And I'm not always right, but I will make I'll make a kind of. I'm one of those annoying people that will sit there and figure out the twist before it happens.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't know. There's so many red herrings and stuff they're thrown your way.
So that's got how many episodes that got left now?
1 or 2, I think.
1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah, not many.
So we can talk about the ending next month.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, that's it for me. What about you? What have you been watching on TV?
The one I really want to watch is a Netflix documentary called 3 episodes called Trainwreck Woodstock 99. Do you remember this? I remember watching this because this is our MTV generation year on TV, and how crazy it was. And I remember it being like a big news story, but watching the documentary I didn't realise how much of a fuck up it was. And I remember at the time Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst getting a lot of shit. Quite rightly so, really. But the organizer of the event, you should watch it. So you can't think it get any worse, and they can't fuck up any more. But then something else happens. There's one point on the last day when there hasn't been enough water. It's been boiling hot. The sewage is everywhere. There's stuff like that. And the crowd has just watched a band like tear it up. And then they decide to hand out like 10,000 lit candles. So obviously, next thing that happens is like Armageddon.
Everything's on fire.
Yeah, everything's on fire. And at that point you think, we probably shouldn't have done that, because they were trying to show like Woodstock, the original Woodstock, isn't it? It's all about peace and love, and
that didn't happen.
And the '99 version. Well, when you're getting bands like Limp Bizkit and Korn and stuff like, it's a very different feel to, Jimi Hendrix, Love and Power, and all that. They should have kind of known, but you should watch it. It's an incredible watch. It's very funny as well.
I was going to lots of festivals around that time as well, like. That was my kind of time going to festivals. Obviously not Woodstock. I wasn't going to America for stuff, but I went to like, what was my best festival? Kind of Leeds 2000. Leeds and Reading had twin festivals.
Who headlined that one?
Leeds 2000.
Do you remember?
Oasis did a day, and Pulp, and Limp Bizkit. I remember Limp Bizkit because they had like Daphne and Celeste.
Is that when they got booed off and got free air?
They didn't get booed off. They got
pelted.
They got bottles of piss thrown at them. And to be fair to them, I absolutely respect them, because they fought through those bottles of piss. And did
they? They finished their slot?
They did like 3 songs and then, before they left.
That is a weird.
Like Blink 182.
Wow.
It was so good. I don't think I've been to a better festival than that Leeds festival.
That's a good lineup.
I went with my friend Pete, and we both bought. We did a classic like young lads going to a festival thing, where we were like, we both bought disposable barbecues for food, because food at festivals costs a fortune.
Yeah.
And then we were like, I was like, I thought you were bringing the food, and he's like, no, I thought you were bringing the food, and we were like, we both brought barbecues and no food.
So what did you do?
We basically ate very little that whole weekend, and then went to Pizza Hut buffet before we got the train home on the Monday.
Genius. Absolute genius.
Ate them out of house and home. We were there for like 4 hours eating pizza.
I went to a festival once, and we had one of those little hob cooker things that we took, like a little, and then someone nicked it on the last day. They didn't. They took nothing else.
As a rule, never take anything to a festival that you're not okay with throwing in the bin. Essentially,
yes, we went to a festival. This is completely off topic. We went to a festival once. We took my mum and dad's old tent that they had for like 30 years ago, and it was the size, I'm not lying, of a house. And it was so heavy, but you could see it from miles away. You're like, which one's your tent? You're like, you see the one that looks like a castle? That one.
I went to a festival in Ireland, Oxygen Festival, with our friend Rachel, and I bought a massive tent because it was the cheapest tent, and it was like a 12-person tent for just the two of us. And basically, the campsite was on like a hill, and on the last day, it just rained so much, and we went back to our tent, and our tent had started at the top of the hill, and when we got back, it had slid to the bottom of the hill. And we just like extracted what stuff we could, got in the car, drove to Dublin, and stayed in a hotel. And that was a good
plan.
We'd planned to stay in Dublin for a few days afterwards anyway, so it was the hotel we were going to stay in. But that one night in the hotel cost more than like the 5 days we got booked afterwards. But it was the absolute best choice, and it was the best night in a hotel ever. Because I had a warm bed and a shower. Yeah,
my one of the festivals, I woke up with our sleeping blow-up bed thing floating. And that was a surprise, but all worth it. Anyway, let's move on to our last section.
I don't know why we just talked about music festivals for ages, but yeah,
that's what we do. UK releases. So hit the do it. He can't remember any of this. UK releases that's coming up in the UK. No, we don't. Basically, Rich, you thought this month was dry. Yeah. September. Film studios. What the fuck are you doing to us? Right, September. All I've got. There's a film called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Crimes of the Future, the new David Cronenberg film.
None of these are sequels, though, Dave.
Don't Worry, Darling, which is the new Olivia Wilde, Harry, what's his face, for a Lawrence Pugh film.
Oh, okay, that looks good.
Yep, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. But absolutely no sequels, Rich.
Oh.
So hopefully we should check online stuff. Something might pop up.
I'm not going to lie to you. September this year, not a good month for anniversaries of sequels either.
Oh my. Guys,
I don't know what we're going to do.
Email in your suggestions of what we can cover. What do you want us to talk about in September? Is there anything you think, hey, watch this, do that, try this? Because honestly, at this point, we will try it.
Yeah, it might be a little out of date, but maybe we should do the Fisherman's Friends sequel.
I mean, I've never seen the original, but that does come out on the... Where is it? The 19th of August. It's already been out, Rich, by the time this is released. But yes, we might cover that. Anyway, that's it. I got nothing else to say. October's got one of the Halloweens we're going to have to cover because that's...
Yeah, October's normally good because you normally get horror movies in October, don't you? So...
I mean, October there has... We're not talking about October, but that's coming better. Up.
Let's just get through September.
Yeah.
Get to October and it'll be good. Well, if you've liked what you've heard in this episode, and it's been a bit rambly, not going to lie, August has been a pretty dry month sequel-wise, so this roundup has been a bit rambly. But if you have enjoyed it, then go back and listen to all our other episodes. There are loads of them for you to go back and listen to. There's a whole year's worth of these extra episodes. There's 3 series of interview episodes for you to go back and listen to. And whilst you're doing that, click that little subscribe button, and every time we do a new episode, it'll automatically drop into your little pod shop of choice, and you'll be able to listen to us forever, because we're going to carry on doing this until we die, because, we love it. If you want to, obviously we've read out some stuff from people giving us some comments about what we've done. If you want to get read out on the next monthly roundup, then get in touch with us on social media. We are at Unequal Sequel on Twitter and on Instagram, or you can send us an email. We are unequalsequel@hotmail.com. We also, whilst you're there subscribing and tweeting us, if you wouldn't mind giving us a little review, 5 stars, nice little tick, nice little like, nice little heart, whatever it is that you can do on your pod shop, then, go for that. We would love it. We love you forever. And yeah, keep an eye out. I know we've said this a few times now, but by the time we come back for Series 4 at the end of September, we will have a Patreon, we will have a website, and we will have all these new different ways that you can interact with the podcast. Check us out, being all professional and that.
Great job, Rich. Well done, mate. So I don't even listen to what you say now anymore when I'm doing it. I just completely blank out.
You just zone out, look at other stuff,
Yeah. I've got nothing else to add apart from thank you for people who are writing in. That means a lot to us. Please write in for the future because that'd be great. Thank you for listening. It's been a great month. And I've got nothing else to say. Rich, you got anything else to say?
No, that's it.
Yeah. So it is a good riddance from me.
That's not very nice.
Well, that's the only one I could find. And it is a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
You guys, you get down on that dance floor and you just move like you've never danced before, okay?